Good morning, everyone. My name is Dipesh Deshmukh, and I am representing IBG, India Business Group. IBG is a chamber of commerce, and we help our members get connects, get business nationally as well as internationally. I'm absolutely excited to be a part of IBG, and a big thanks to our founder, mentor, Mr. Vikash Mittersain, who has taken a lot of effort, pain, energy to set up this chamber. And he is an absolute fabulous networker. He's also the Honorary Consul General of Republic of Mali. I present you Mr. Vikash Mittersain. Vikash, a few words to begin with.
Trying to unmute. Yeah, hi all. I'm very happy that today morning there was a little bit of nip in the air. Otherwise, it has been terribly hot. However, the real estate work and business is still cool and cold. I really want to learn today what is the future prospect of real estate, particularly me because I have to buy a flat. Should I wait? Go ahead with that sort of semi-self intro. Thank you. Where is the minister, please?
We are expecting
Come
him.
around 11:30.
Yeah.
11:30. Okay.
Yeah. Also, I would like to introduce everyone, our CEO, Ms. Priya Pansare. Priya, a few words from you.
Good morning, everyone. After much brainstorming, here we are with this real estate vertical. Of course, with our committee, they're going to give you a lot of ideas and benefits as to how a member will benefit after joining this sector. So welcome all. And I'm going to do a virtual ribbon cutting session today on this note. Thanks a lot.
Clap, clap, clap. Thank you so much. And before I introduce everyone to our guest of honor, I would also would like to thank Sujata, Girish, and Siddhi, who are our team members of IBG, and they help our members tirelessly, endlessly. So a big thank you to you guys for making all these things possible. So IBG Real Estate Vertical is headed by Mr. Ajoykant Ruhia, and the committee members are Meenal Sinha, architect Tahir Ali Rautiwala, and Sangeet Hemant Kumar. They are the executive committee members. A very brief about what the aim of the real estate vertical is: to organize seminars and webinars on real estate happenings, promote real estate trade amongst members and to the consumers, provide a platform to suppliers of all sorts of the trade by way of advertising options on IBG website as well as mailers, facilitate government clearance for real estate related matters for the members of IBG, special membership rates to those who need additional services and presence in this vertical, invite top people as honorary members from trade and also from the government. So this is what we are planning for the real estate division that we are opening. And we have Mr. Sumeet Anand, who is our guest of honor. And he, in one sentence introduction, he's a real estate expert, ex-global infrastructure and logistics leader, and he's with Genpact. So Mr. Sumeet, a few words from you on the real estate scenario. You can take about 5 to 10 minutes to just kind of give an overview to all of us.
Thank you, Dipesh, and thank you, Vikashji, Meenal, Ajoykant, Sangeet, Priya, and a lot of you who are behind the scenes working on this platform. My best wishes to all of you. And, you know, this new scenario is teaching us a lot of things, and I loved Priya doing a ribbon cutting on screen. And the other good thing which I had just mentioned before this session start, it's so pleasurable to be in front of so many people and without having a mask on your face. Thank you, Mr. Vikash Mittersain, for inviting me to this forum, and I'm glad to be part of this new journey of launch of the IBG Real Estate Vertical. And thank you for setting the tone for today. I'm sure you will buy a house very soon, and I'm sure this must not be the first one, must be 10th, 20th or something. So, but all the best for the next purchase. You know, we hear a lot of pain and we see in the real estate industry today. I would say that this pain is in most of the sectors, maybe not in the consumer goods, pharma, warehousing, and a few more. But then this pain is there in so many other sectors like retail, malls, airlines, hotels, so many areas. So we are not alone. What we are missing in today's time is positivity, which is also visible from some of the long-term international players like Brookfield, Blackstone, and others. Not sure how many of you had noticed in last couple of months, there were some mails where, say, I'll read out a couple of them, where Brookfield Asset Management will buy an Indian developer's commercial properties for $2 billion, the biggest real estate deal in the South Asian nation. The Canadian asset manager is acquiring 12.5 million square feet of rent-yielding offices and co-working spaces from RMZ Corp. This was in the news just last month. Another big news which was there last month was that Blackstone Group was set to acquire property developer Prestige Group's rental income assets for more than $1.7 billion. That's like 12,745 crores in the largest real estate portfolio buyout in India. Some another interesting changes which happened in our industry were Raheja came out with one of the most successful REIT in India, which if I remember correctly, was oversubscribed by above 14 times. And DLF and Brookfield are expected to come out with their own REIT very soon. I think all these are positive news. We keep talking about all the negativity around it, around the real estate sector, but there is so much if you have a long-term view. All this is an indication of real estate experts betting on the India story. One just needs to have a little longer horizon of play. I would personally bet on its success too. It's a downturn right now, but this is not going to stay for all long. Another side which I would want to cover is a line which I read yesterday. India will see a digital super cycle. There is a lot of investments in the real estate side in upgrading systems and moving away from labor-centric solutions to more strong technical advancements. I think these are early days and one should tread carefully and invest keeping a holistic view on solutions and not invest piecemeal. When I say that, I have a reason for saying that. A lot of corporates are learning to get into the digital side of it and investing on it, but we end up investing on maybe a parking solution, maybe a seat utilization system, maybe a leasing system or a project management system, and we think about we've gone on a digitization journey, but that probably is not the right way. You have to think holistically and have a solution which covers the entire remit of a real estate site. Another change which we saw recently was we hear most companies are not calling their staff this year, and companies like Google have stated that they will allow work from home till June 2021. TCS had earlier announced that by 2025, it expects only 1/4 of its workforce to turn up in offices. I see a positivity in this also. It is up to you what you want to see here. If this actually happens and more companies permit work from home, then we will certainly gain in terms of lesser traffic on the roads, less pollution in the cities, which is also a requisite in today's time. I moved from Mumbai to Gurgaon a couple of years back, and you just have to be around to really understand what pollution really means, which, the pollution levels are close to 400 right now, which is just hazardous to the extreme limit. I also think as companies will reduce their footprint, many could endeavor to support their employees in small cities to work from co-working kind of offices instead of asking them to travel to bigger cities. If this actually happens, this could be a big positive towards growth of smaller cities, because we've always seen the bigger cities grow more. But if companies start bothering about their staff, and I have had few conversations with few companies where they said, hey, is there a possibility that we can, cater to our population in smaller cities, and can we build some offices for them, smaller ones? Maybe, I have 20 people, somebody has 100 people in, say, a Meerut or a Jalandhar or a Patna or Lucknow or any small city around, maybe, Beed or Aurangabad, or places around Bangalore and Hyderabad. If this actually happens, I think we will see these cities also coming in line with growth which is happening in bigger cities. To my mind, this can also be applicable in bigger cities. So my take is that I do see this as an opportunity in most components of real estate in the longer term. I would also urge all to show caution as fresh pandemic cannot be ruled out. So we will need to evolve continuously and we will have to work accordingly. What we knew till 2019, 2020 taught us, hey, you don't know anything. You have to stop and restart. So we will have to evolve continuously. I am personally an eternal optimist. Hence, you will only hear positives from me. Lastly, this pandemic is still not over and the virus has started spreading once again. So I will urge you to stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sumeet, for giving us such a fabulous overview. It was an eye-opener and you have given a lot of people hope. So a big thank you to being positive. And that's the most important thing I think we all need to be right now, right, in these days. So a big thank you, Sumeet.
Thank you, Dipesh.
I also I see that there are some interesting people who have joined in. Mr. Deben Moza, he's the Executive Director, Knight Frank. Mr. Deben, are you there with us? If you can unmute yourself. And Mr. Manish Gaur, he's the MD Urban Design of Urban Design Workshop. Mr. Manish, I have asked you to unmute yourself.
Okay, Dipesh, the message is coming that host hasn't given you the permission to unmute yourself.
To whom?
It was coming for me.
No, I have given you permission.
You just gave, so you will have to give to the others also that we are requesting.
So Manish Gaur, I have given. He'll have to unmute himself. Mr. Manish, can you hear me? If you can unmute yourself.
I don't know. Deben seems to have dropped off.
All right, maybe. Yeah.
It's okay.
All right, so let's move on with our agenda. And on our agenda, Meenal, I have you as next. So, guys, I would like to introduce everyone to one of the committee members of the real estate vertical, Ms. Meenal Sinha. Meenal Sinha is the founder, CEO of Meetings and Offices, and is one of the best known names in the world of co-working and shared workspaces in India. She has over 2 decades of corporate work experience, and her startup, Meetings and Offices, is India's largest aggregator for all shared workspaces, business centers, serviced offices, co-working spaces, and anyone who has excess inventory. She lives in Mumbai with her husband and 18-year-old son. Now, in this introduction, I see 2 discrepancies. Her company is so big that I don't know whether we should call startup. And 18-year-old son, by looking at here, I don't believe, I think that's a typo. It might be 8-year-old son. Meenal, over to you.
Thank you so much, Dipesh. And that was an amazing introduction. Yeah, as I say, I'm only 23 years old. Mera adopted bacha hai, so don't worry. Could you please allow screen share, because I would like to take everybody through a brief presentation about what we are going to do at the IBGRE vertical.
Meenal, what did you say?
Could you allow screen share for?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Thank you, Dipesh. I hope everybody is able to see this. Dipesh?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So guys, welcome. As part of the executive committee, I would like to welcome all of you to the launch of the IBG real estate vertical. And I would like to thank Vikash and the entire IBG team, Priya, Siddhi, Girish, Sujata, and in fact, even Dipesh for having the thought and the sight to put this together and actually try and do something about this sector, because I think it plays, like Sumeet was saying, it plays a very, very integral part of our economy today. And we are going to try from the committee to really help promote this sector and trade within this sector. So as we all know, and most of us know, the members at least, that IBG is a modern non-profit chamber of commerce. It is focused on mentoring and supporting Indian businesses to help them grow into global corporations. And we have our stalwart, Mr. Vikash Mittersain, who himself, in fact, is available to mentor everybody, all the members who want to take that support. And I personally know a lot of members who have benefited greatly from this mentoring, including me. And we also, as IBG, as a chamber, engage with international and other domestic chambers, and we organize a lot of one-to-one business meetings, and in fact, business trips and inquiries from other countries as well, which we promote amongst the members. And I think it's just an ideal platform for networking within the various strata of the industry. We have different verticals within IBG, which focus on different industries as well. IBG, as we all know, was founded by Mr. Vikash Mittersain, who's the CMD of Nazara Technologies, and he's also the Honorary Consul General of Republic of Mali. As far as the reach of IBG is concerned, we have an opt-in mailing list of over 80,000 and 1,000 active members in Mumbai. And as a direct, outfall of the lockdown and the pandemic, because it has now become a lot of virtual meetings, so the reach has spread across countries other than Mumbai as well. So that's amazing. And it's not only, in fact, limited only to India. We have international members as well. And we have more than 45,000 followers on social media platform. And we are very, very active in the consulate community. And in fact, Vikash, through his connects, organizes, helps us meet a lot of consuls and consulates and promote our business there. Now to give you a brief about what this executive committee is, the head of the committee is Mr. Ajoykant Ruiya, who's the director of Allstate Group, and he has over 35 years of experience in refrigeration equipment, electrical transformers, software development, sports, leisure equipment, film production, and real estate. His group companies have several agreements with international leaders in their respective fields, and he has pioneered 10-pin bowling in India besides founding India's largest water sports center, H2O. And he is, of course, along with Vikash, a guiding force for the committee. And we are going to try and do as much as we can, like I said earlier, to promote the trade. You have already heard the introduction from Dipesh. Then we have Mr. Sangeet Hemant Kumar, who's been known for his dynamic personality and innovative thinking. He's been in Mumbai real estate market since 1992. He has redefined, organized, and brought in creative selling through several brands that he has founded as well as managed. He has a bachelor's in business administration from University of Wisconsin, USA, and an affluent family background. He was never a person to shy away from a good challenge, and he is just brimming with ideas on what we can do for you guys. Then we have architect Tahir Rawatiwala, who's a director and co-founder for Effusion Designs, with an international exposure in architectural and interior design solutions and consultancy. He's been practicing for the past 15 years in major verticals like corporate offices, hospitality, institutions, exotic villas, etc. And he lives in Mumbai with his wife and 7-year-old son. So you guys must be all wondering, and in fact, a lot of people who I had sent the invite to were asking me, what is this all about? So here is the charter. At the very core of IBG real estate vertical, which we have named IBG.RE, is to ensure that we are promoting the interest of the end consumer. And of course, we will do representation of industry issues to government bodies, and we will focus on delivering more and more value to our members. Just to give you a brief about the kind of benefits that we have envisaged, this is only some of them, which we will begin with. First and foremost is fostering collaboration amongst all the members of the real estate industry within IBG. And it is not only, that we are talking about developers and property consultants, but all related industries, because what we want is members within IBG to be preferred partners within each other, and then we, promote a joint force when we are going to meet our clients. We are going to organize sector-specific meetings with other state chambers as well as other countries' chambers. We are looking at collaboration with these chambers in, working together. For example, somebody from Mumbai needs help in Bangalore. If we have already interacted with these members, working with them will be so much easier. We are looking at introducing the members to top industry leaders, not only through webinars and talks, but also in one-to-one business meetings. And these are some of the things that we have earlier also done. We are going to do industry-focused webinars. And what is very important is we are going to try and get special offers from related industry, so that if there is an architect in our midst, of course, we have one on the core committee itself, and they are doing some work. If the material being supplied to them, we could get them special offers for that. I think that would benefit all of us a lot. We are looking at doing a lot of tie-ups with industry events, other related events. In fact, one of the events has been happening yesterday and today, which is the World Office Expo and Co-working India Expo. Another event is Own Your Home, which Sangeet has organized in collaboration with Times of India. So we have already started with this activity. We are looking at creating an annual real estate event. And of course, we will do monthly member meetings for the real estate vertical as well. Just to give you a brief of what are some of the things that we have already done in the real estate sector for our members. We recently had Mr. Anuj Puri give a talk to our members, and he answered a lot of our questions. We've had meetings, again, like I was saying, small team meetings. We went to Mr. Niranjan Hiranandani's office, and we've had a detailed interaction with him. We have had sector-wise meetings as well. So that is about what all we are going to do, and what this is all about. Dipesh?
Yes.
Over to you now.
Thank you so much, Meenal, for giving us an in-depth overview of what the real estate vertical is all about, and telling us how the members will benefit. I would like to now invite Mr. Ajoykant Ruhiya, who is heading the real estate vertical, to say a few words. Ajoykant, over to you.
Yeah. Hi, everyone, IBG members and non-members alike. Welcome to the chief guests, to the guests of honors here. I'm very happy to present in this festive season the newest attempt in the newest body in the real estate sphere, a very young body, and catering to also very young people. And we'd like to involve all of you. I don't need to say anything more. Everything has been covered so beautifully about what this vertical is going to be doing. And we would only be able to succeed if we have the participation of everybody. And of course, the end point is to help everybody, to assist them in the real estate needs, to be like a big support for if they're buying something, they're selling something. We would like to give the inputs, whatever we can. We do welcome all of you, and anybody who wishes to actively participate in the management of this vertical is most welcome to write to us, and we will consider giving some activity to take care of. So the more the better, more the merrier, and we hope to bring some new kind of life in this sphere by involving the younger people. By virtue of my experience in the committees of Property Owner Association, who have 7,000 members, and in the Federation of Accommodation Industry, which is a small industry but more towards the brokers, I can use that experience to make this vertical shine and fill up the vacuum in many things which are missing with the other associations are not taking care of. most of the associations are quite centered on very narrow aspects. We do hope to give a more social objective to this whole thing by virtue, and that IBG has the same virtue. Mr. Vikash Mittersain has the same virtue of being socially useful to everybody. Thank you very much. I do look forward to your participation. Please do write to us immediately. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ajoy Kant. It was really our pleasure the moment he asked you to head this vertical, and you said yes. That was the first step, and I know you have a fabulous team to support you. So it's going to be absolutely rocking when it comes to the real estate vertical, right?
For sure.
Yeah, yeah. So, guys, what we are going to do next is we are going to have an interesting panel discussion. And I invite for the panel discussion Mr. Ajoy Kant Ruhiya, architect Tahir, Sangeet Hemant Kumar, and Meenal Sinha. I have asked you all to unmute yourself. All right, so I have framed a few questions for the benefit of people who are attending this session. And so the first question I have is, what do you think has been the effect of pandemic on the real estate sector? Tahir, if you would like to open up.
Yeah. Thank you, Dipesh, and thank you, everybody, and hello to the IBG team members and guests. And yeah, to answer your question, and also to add, I would say congratulations to everybody, because this is something which was very much needed in real estate, just to pump up the energy and to invite more hands to help each other. So coming back to your question, Dipesh ji, well, the impact has been really unprecedented in the initial months, I would say, bringing all construction activities at a complete halt nationwide. Like the reality sector faced the most challenging times ever. We saw interdependence, supply chain, migration, cost overruns, all coming at the forefront. But as Mr. Sumeet said, the positive side, and so along with that, I would like to add is it has also given us time to think creatively, differently, and exploring more options in different cities like tier 2 and tier 3 cities, and the development there and collaborations there, and so I guess it opens up more opportunities for all of us in coming times. Thank you.
Thank you, Tahir. Thank you. Mr. Ruhiya, if you would like to add anything to that.
Yeah, Mr. Sumeet Anand has covered quite a lot of things already, and very well put, and so has Tahir. But one thing is for sure, the effect on this pandemic is that everybody's going to get a lot of working space around them, So there'll be no cramped up spaces in offices anymore. And that's, I think, the most comfortable social advantage which everybody has. Also, the whole industry is definitely shaken up, and work from home concept, although not yet picked up, but I do feel that people will look for flexibility, and so the co-working and co-living spaces are going to be exciting in the future. Also, a lot of real estate brokers are going to be, I think, out of work, because, more so because the digitization has accelerated during this pandemic. So that will also affect them sadly. I mean, they'll have something else to do they should look for. The pricing of the real estate is quite mixed. In some places it has become stable, some places it has gone down. So we cannot make a blanket statement about the pricing. So, but definitely it has become a buyer's market thanks to the pandemic. Thanks a lot. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. In fact, my next question was to Sangeet. Have the property prices gone down? And do you think they'll go down further, or give us more comment on the property pricing scenario?
Yeah, thanks, Dipesh. And I will welcome everyone here at the launch of the IBG Real Estate Vertical. So, we got to first of all understand the stress which the developers are going through is basically access to finance. The biggest problem right now, what our industry is facing, is the lack of finance. We are now getting in some support from the government, with State Bank of India sanctioning 25,000 crores for the stressed assets and for the developers. So definitely the prices have come down, and the prices are going to go further a little down. It's more like a correction. So now the only way the developers have to increase the sales is that they'll have to give some kind of discount, some kind of offers to the consumer to lure them to buy houses. Now, what has happened in the last 2 or 3 months, there has been reports from CRE Metrics, from Knight Frank, from JLL. All the reports are very, very clearly indicative of the buyers returning to the market. One more change, what has happened in the last 15, 20 years, is the exit of the investor. In the last so many years, when a developer used to launch their project, they used to have investors onboarded and the prices were inflated. Now, because we don't have investors coming in and we have more of end users, the prices are going to get stable. You're not going to get that kind of 40% or 30% rise every year on a year-to-year basis. So I personally feel this is the right time to buy houses, especially residents, because there is more stress on the residential market, and developers are welcoming you with the open arms, like Mr. Ruya just now told us. It's a buyer's market. This buyer market, this sentiment is going to remain for the next couple of years. And Mr. Sumeet Anand has mentioned of the alternate asset classes of co-living, co-working. So overall, prices are going to get stable, and I don't think there should be too much. You don't have to worry right now कि prices अभी और गिरेंगे तो मैं अभी घर खरीदूंगा. So the question is not asked, but I would like to mention it's the right time to buy. Thank you.
Thank you, Sangeet. So you guys are just messing up with me, because my next question to Mr. Ruya was, is it the right time to buy property?
That's a cue.
You saved the most difficult question for me. But yes, overall, yes, it is a good time to buy. It's maybe it will be spread over a period of maybe 6 months before things start going up again. It may remain at this stage, or you never know. There's going to be a rush of money from out of the stock market is attracting a lot of money. But if something goes wrong with the market, then that money will be available for the real estate business. So that would probably push up the prices. So there's going to be a queue from somewhere, which will give it a boost for sure. The boost is going to come. Costs are still up. Costs have probably gone up as well. Cost of material, cost of labor. So that cost is going to remain high, and there will be a bottom to real estate for that reason. Also, there's a lot of expenditure for clearances, so that remains unchanged. So there are cuts in other things, but not in the real estate. I don't see any cut except for the builder's margin. So there's a shift to leasing in the young generation. That could be a little bit of a dampener for the developers, not for the buyers. I don't know how much shift is going to take place. Meenal is right in the middle of it, so Meenal could be probably giving, or Mr. Sumeet can also throw some light on it, about how much percent of the shift. I haven't seen any article on that prediction of the figures of the amount of shift which is going to take place from owned to leased, or whatever you call it, leased, rented, So it's yet, I mean, there are very bigger experts than me all over, and I think we should wait for their reactions. Maybe in the next meeting, I will sum up all their reactions and give you a better, that'll also give a good reason for me to have all the members tune in and involve themselves. So let's keep this little bit of a thing left for the next meeting to keep our audience participation active. So as to say, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you, sir. In
Yeah.
fact, my next question I'm going to ask Mr. Sumeet Anand, is this a bad time to sell?
So Dipesh, that is like, putting the ball back in my court. So I actually exchanged
Googly
messages
तो एक बनता है ना.
between me and Dipesh that now you should ask the honorary guys to answer this is a bad time to sell. And he's put the ball back in my court. So I personally, this is a dilemma which probably everyone has, and it is a discussion worth having in today's time. We only talk of, is this a right time to buy? Why don't we think of, is this a right time to sell? There is a reverse psychosis also. You should be ready with the answer to that. And the moment you get an answer to that, your answer to the first one automatically comes. To my mind, if you are going to buy another property, this is not a bad time to sell. You will get a discount. Your property which you'll sell, you will go on a discount, and what you will buy will also be a discounted one. It is a great time to move out of a small property and take a bigger property, because your punt is going to be good for the longer term. Your return on investment will be significant if you do that. I personally think it is not a bad time. It all depends what is your, real intent of selling. If it is just, making profits, of course, I doubt you'll get much profits unless you invested a very long time back. So I think that answers in a way.
But
You answered not black and white, you answered gray in color. But anyway, it just made sense. I agree with you totally. Thank you, Sumit.
I think Ajay asked one more question about will we be seeing more people buying houses or renting? I think the trend which I'm seeing is because people are working from home, they're moving out of the rented house and they're going back to their cities. So there are more and more houses which are getting vacated, and rental is easy to get today. But in the longer term, you are seeing attraction in the residential market. There is a difference. You do see. I'll give you a live example. I was there on Sona Road in Gurgaon, Sona Extension Road, and there was a live launch of a new project. I was surprised with the number of cars standing outside on the first day of the launch. So this gave you an indication, hey, where the market is going. That it gave you a clear indication, hey, people want to bet on these times and pick up a good deal. So I think it is a good time.
Thank you so much. Thank you. My next question is to Sangeet. And this is a standard question many people, especially the first-time home buyers have. Is it safe to buy an under construction property? Sangeet?
yeah, thanks, Dipesh. Well, first of all, I'm sure all of us are aware that it's been now more than 3 years that we have RERA in place, which is a regulatory body which we have for the first time in so many years. Now, what this regulator has done it's a consumer centric, and it favors the consumer. So that gives you some kind of an assurance that in case the developer is defaulting, especially in delaying the project, they can always go to RERA. And in the last few years, the judgments have been quite favorable to the consumer. So RERA is one act which is in favoring the consumer. What we need to understand, what we have all been discussing about, and which we should understand, is the stress on the developer. So if the developer is a grade A developer, a reputed developer, he has his financials in place and he has a financial closure, then going in for an under construction property is absolutely not a problem. Moreover, you get deferred payment. Each and every project is there for about 3 to 4 years. So you have, and bank loans incidentally have, the bank rates have, the loan has been come down to 7% or 6.9%. So it's a good time to buy a property. And like Sumeet said, it's another, if you are sitting on a property and you want to sell the property. So what is happening now, because of the pandemic, there is this need of security, and security can only come in by buying a house, not by renting a house. So what a lot of my clients are doing is they are selling off their property right now, taking a house on rent and paying the EMI. So within the next 3 to 4 years, they own a property. So the under construction property is going to continue. There is a need of a gated community. A lot of families which are scattered, their parents are staying, say, in Calcutta or staying in some other hometown. They're calling them back to the main cities, to the metro cities, and so that they can live together. So the under construction property is a good bet as long as you do a check on the developer, check on the project. The RERA website has all the details. I request all home buyers there is a RERA number which has been given, allotted to each and every project. Please take some time, go on the RERA website and understand. Even if there is a court case or if there is a legal hassle, it's all mentioned in the RERA website. So please go and view that, visit that website, talk to other consultants, talk to other advisors, and get a clarity on the project. And I think under construction property is already started. October sales has been phenomenal, and the return of the buyers are there. And under construction property is safe as long as you have done your homework correct. Thanks, Dipesh.
Thank you, Sangeet. If someone goes to type that RERA number, it's so big that chances are half the time you guys will get wrong. But yeah, people should do that. My next question is to Meenal. Are co-working spaces safe to use? Look at a smile.
The billion-dollar question. So, what we discuss is people are happy to go back to restaurants, malls are safe to open, the chai ki tapri is safe to open. Why would co-working spaces not be safe to open? Why are your own offices?
I boiled, na. The co-working spaces are cold.
No, you would be amazed the amount of warmth that you get from your community in a co-working space. So guys, the very simple thing is people think there will be multiple people coming. It's not a controlled environment, and co-working is not right for me right now. But that is not what is the truth, because co-working spaces, in fact, even before the lockdown, they had already put in measures to ensure their community's safety, the kind of global EHS norms that a proper good co-working space will follow. In fact, it is not possible for the smaller companies to be able to ensure those norms are there. So co-working spaces, in fact, they are not allowing visitors. They are doing the temperature checks. The health and sanitization is happening. They have increased their housekeeping expenses to ensure their members are safe and they're coming home to a safe environment. There is a lot of tech that they are using in terms of technology. In fact, people have this concern that the HVAC, the common cooling and all. In fact, we have an expert who I will ask to join me in this discussion because he would be a much better person to talk about this. But, all these co-working spaces are implementing these measures for their clients' safety. And it is not only now, but just even before the lockdown, they had already done this. Now more so. So yes, there were some co-working spaces which couldn't have undertaken such huge expenses. That consolidation in the industry has already happened. You just need to ensure you pick and choose the right place. But in fact, I know laymen feel that co-working is not safe even now, but from the enterprises and the larger corporates, the kind of inquiries that the industry is seeing, it itself, says a lot that people have confidence in these solutions, and they are doing audits, they are doing quarterly audits with global bodies, and it is for everybody to see. So yes, guys, co-working spaces are perfectly safe. Because while large enterprises, they have their full real estate and facilities teams who can take care of the EHS norms and ensure employee safety. It is a little difficult for smaller offices, standalone offices, to do it on your own. So in fact, like always, what I always believe in, instead of taking a small office for yourself, go to a co-working space. And we will talk a bit more about this later, but we have Mr. Deben Moza, who's the executive director and the head of project management at Knight Frank. And I'm sure he is a much better suited person to talk about not only co-working industry, but the entire facility management in corporates as to how it is being handled and why our office is safe to come back to. Dipesh, if you could...
I have unmute. I've asked to unmute. He'll have to unmute himself.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks, Meenal. I was not expecting this, that I would have to, participate in the discussion. Um, what I'll say, and in terms of, it's from the personal experience. I've been attending office for last 4 months now, and we've been following protocols. And I don't see there's any difference between me operating from my office and operating from a co-working space, because everybody is following the same protocols. Else they won't have the clients in. So the debate whether co-working is safe or not, I don't think that's a debate. Any office can be safe, any office can be unsafe. It's all about, how well we manage the hygiene. Uh, Now, I feel, the way things are shaping up, co-working is going to be the future. And I firmly believe that we'll see more of the neighborhood offices coming up. People don't have to commute long distances to go their offices. We'll see, as a hub and spoke model in offices as well. You don't want to encourage people to travel longer distances. So you will try to minimize usage of public transport. So there is going to be a hybrid working. So there will be multiple, ways of people working. It's people will be given choice whether they want to work from home or from office. So the challenges are at both ends. It's not that work from home is the safest. It comes with its own challenges and issues, and similarly for offices. So, and this COVID thing will remain there for quite some time. If we think that if we lock ourselves in our houses and we'll be safe, this would take, I don't know how many months. There are companies who have announced work from home till mid of next year. So I think what we've seen in the last couple of months is people have started aligning themselves with, working with the challenges, and offices are operating, and it will continue doing that. Coming to the facilities team, I think it's, the facility management has become a very, sought after service now, because facilities team were on the forefront. We talk about doctors, we talk about policemen, we talk about, you know, uh, sanitation workers. But during the lockdown, the facilities teams were managing the offices. That's how we were actually operating from home. So, now you'll see professionals coming into this service line, which was, the common perception of people was that facility management is about housekeeping and security. It's much more than that. So you will see a transformation in that industry as well. While the technology would grow, as Sumeet said, uh, technology is going to be the next future.
Thank you so much, Deben, for your point of view. Meenal?
Yeah, I think what I would like to ask next is, in fact, I'm sorry, I'm asking a question instead of giving an answer. Sorry for that. But what I was wondering is, again, from the commercial real estate industry perspective, um, Deben has already covered quite a bit of it, but people have been asking, how is the workspace scenario changing across the country? And just to add on to what Deben was saying, there are different models that are coming out. So even larger corporates, and Deben or Sumeet are much more experienced than me to talk about this, but even the larger corporates are realizing that they need to optimize their entire real estate portfolio. So it is one of the things is cost saving. B, it is like Deben said, the ease of commute, and even Sumeet mentioned that employee welfare, in the sense that they don't have to commute to office on a daily basis. So then of course the headache of admin and facilities being taken off. So what is happening is even the larger enterprises are realizing that this hub and spoke model, where you do not have a large centralized office, but you have just the amount of people who need to be in the office on a daily basis, and then they have smaller hubs across the city. And of course, so these are satellite offices or hub and spoke or distributed working, because that gives the flexibility to the employees to go and work from an office which is closer to their house. So within 5 kilometers of their house, of their residences, they are able to work in these offices. How the cost is coming down is, of course, when you take these co-working solutions, and if you are, say, a 500-member team, however, you look for an office space only for 200 members, because the concept that co-working has introduced now is rotational working. So although people are doing it in their own offices also, but when you need satellite offices, say you have taken a 50-member satellite office, but only 20 people are coming on a daily basis on a particular day, because out of those 50 people are going to come only twice a week. So it is a rotational working membership that has also been started in these hub and spoke models. So there are these various steps which have been taken to ensure that employees' benefit is being taken care of, your costs are being taken care of, and overall your real estate spread is being optimized so that you are going to save at least 30 to 70% of your costs. However, having said that, that does not mean that the commercial real estate industry is doomed and we are all going to, not survive, which is something Sumeet and Deven and I have discussed over many panels. And that concept has to be taken out, that people are only going to work from home. It is not easy working from home. People are already, to use nicer words, not liking it so much, because it impacts your family life and it impacts your mental peace and effort. Also, it impacts your productivity to a great level. And like I said earlier, larger corporates, larger enterprises are already moving towards these solutions, and they're going to trial it out at least for the next 12 months, because COVID is here to stay. There is no pre-pandemic, post-pandemic. It is basically a vaccination will come and scenario will change. But like we all know, global organizations have already told their employees, to take extra precautions and work from home, and the offices are going to be shut. But these employees do need to meet once a week, twice a week, thrice a week in smaller numbers. So if you have places available where this facility is possible and social distancing and all the EHS norms are being followed, people are going to like it. And I think, Dipesh, you should ask Sumeet and Deven both to give their viewpoint on the workspace scenario, which is changing.
So later, if we have time, I will definitely do that. I will have to move on to my next question to Tahir. Tahir, how will IBG real estate vertical benefit the clients of our members?
I think it will benefit a lot, Dipesh. It will surely benefit a lot. Like, for instance, I would say, like everybody, right now, everybody are discussing that the people are restructuring themselves, restructuring offices, restructuring their verticals as well, the businesses as well, and moving to different cities, different places, migrating from here and there, right? So, so like now, for anybody who is going to say another place or venturing or doing some other business, so I'll say, like an example with a client or a developer from finding design solutions at the place where he's gone, in all the verticals, to best cost, material finishes, or, and then they find all under one umbrella, like say IBG, with having so many members with so many professionals under one umbrella, one roof, where anybody needs anything. Okay, I need a certain thing. Okay, I'll go to the IBG, I'll ask, and then you, with the networking, and you come to know, okay, this person is there, and then he will connect you to some another city. Maybe he will, and then that possible connections probably gives you more venture in collaborations, and then into business also as well for everybody, along with the needs. And then certainly any client gets fulfilled with all what he wants from this platform, right? And then I think, the what we have is in IBG, the events and the collaborations happening, and all these. So with this platform, I guess it's a win-win situation for everybody, and isn't it? And then let's wait and watch, and then we all are here to grow and helping each other.
Very well said, Tahir. And I always say that the use of networking platforms are the best to form these collaborations. Instead of competing with like-minded people, it's better to collaborate, and the growth can be exponential. So
yes, and this pandemic has taught us. This pandemic has really taught us that, okay, we, instead of running alone, and, so then collaborate and, and take learnings from each other, and then serve the client to the best cost, because right now the cost, the design solutions, the effectiveness, everything matters in the coming times.
Awesome. Cool. My last question for the day is to Mr. Ruia. How can I be a part of this vertical? You'll have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I was not allowed to. Okay. All you have to do is just write to Priya Pansare, send an email, or call up, anybody in IBG, and we will. If you're not an IBG member, you will become an IBG member. The numbers are at the end of the presentation. The email is there, and we'd love to have you on board. And even if you're not a member, you may attend one or two meetings. We would invite you so that you can experience it before you decide to become a member of IBG. I guess that's about it. It's very simple. Just write to us. Over.
Awesome. So, guys, if anyone is interested, because I'm getting some messages from people, how can we be a part of IBG? So, kindly write a message right here to Girish with your mobile number and email address, and somebody will get back to you.
One more thing, Deepesh.
Yes.
Like I said before, those who want to get involved in the management, in the day-to-day affairs, and shaping up IBG vertical real estate, please do express your interest immediately. Thank you.
Absolutely. The more the merrier, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, with that, so I am seeing some questions people have posted, but I feel most of them are answered in the panel itself. So I will not repeat those questions because it will just take our time. So can I request Mr. Vikash Mittersain to give closing remarks? Vikash, are you there? Vikash, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Yes. It takes me a few seconds to
Yeah.
do it. So let me talk of just two things. First is that my own experience now in the current period of co-working spaces. Since our people come from very far, and we did not want to start the office going and bringing in 150 people into one space, we have allowed all of them, once the lockdown was eased, to work out of co-working spaces from wherever they are, instead of working from home. Because as somebody said, it's very disturbing to the house if the husband or the wife is just sitting at home and doing just work, doing nothing else, and it's disturbing to the house. So this has worked out really well for us. Almost everybody is working out of co-working spaces now. They've all formed their own groups within the employees, and they work there. I think that is a great future going forward also. The other is a little bit of background of how IBG metamorphosed from just a Bombay-based chamber into a worldwide international chamber. As soon as the lockdown happened, I or my team immediately realized that this is the end of the road, because it's going to go on for a year, 2 years, and we can't do nothing during that period. So besides starting all these things that we're doing online, we went out and tied up with a lot of other chambers around in India and around the world. At last count, we have 35 such chambers worldwide. So we have a reach now to all their members also. Overall, they add up to thousands now. And our target is that we need to bring in one more chamber every week. So in the next, and that is happening. In the next 1 year, we should be adding 50 to 52 chambers, taking our tally to probably 100. So this is becoming a big chamber of commerce working together. And the chambers that we've tied up with, they're very excited. They're very happy to do things. We do things with their members also. So these are the developments that has happened which are positive. I'm very happy that we have kicked off, or you all have kicked off the vertical today of real estate. And I'm seeing a great future in that, especially with so much involvement. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Vikash. And with that, a big thank you to everyone who attended this session and a very big thank you to everyone who participated. Thank you so much, Mr. Sumeet Anand, for accepting our invitation. I know you were not well, still you managed to attend. So a big thank you to you. Thank you so much, Mr. Deben. Thanks to everyone for making this happen. I know IBG vertical of real estate is going to be absolutely rocking. With that, have a great day. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.